What's up, guys? So I just saw Solo, the Star Wars movie, and I thought I would share my thoughts immediately because some of you, I don't know, some of you guys value my opinion and you want to hear about it. So I'm going to share them right now. Spoilers. Obviously, I saw the movie and I'm going to reveal some spoilers. So beware of spoilers. If you don't want the movie spoiled, turn this off right now. For those of you that don't care or you saw it already and just want to know where I stand, continue watching. Full disclosure, if you don't know, I love The Last Jedi, and I share that with you so you know where I stand. Just right off the bat, I want to let you know I think The Last Jedi was an incredible movie. Okay, there we go. This movie isn't terrible. It didn't ruin my childhood. I'm not angry at it or mad. I didn't, it's my least favorite Star Wars movie, and I could say that easily. I liked Episode 1 better. I liked Episode 2 better. I thought they were far better movies than this one in terms of just how it made me feel and what I got from it and what it did for the universe of Star Wars. I thought the costume designs were awesome, especially for the troopers. There were some really cool moments. I thought the mud troopers and the range troopers looked very cool. I thought the Kessel Run turned out all right. Nothing stood out, though. If I could sum it up in one quick way, I would say that it's pretty Netflix. It's got like a straight to DVD vibe for me. It had a splash of CW in there. But that being said, I didn't expect much from this movie to begin with. I just didn't expect to be disappointed either. But if Han and Chewbacca having a shower scene together is a high point of the movie, that could be a problem. I actually liked that scene. It was funny. It was a good laugh. All the other times they tried to make me laugh, I didn't laugh. I didn't find it particularly funny. The portrayal of Han Solo was not bad. In fact, that kid had a good performance. He was good, but he just wasn't fully Han Solo. I struggled to see him as Han Solo, and I just stopped trying to make him Han Solo and just tried to enjoy the movie regardless, and I kind of did. He played a decent, charming smuggler, but it just wasn't Han Solo. I struggled to really connect him, and I had to abandon that in all. Woody Harrelson, he fits in the movie. He fits. That's what I'll say. Donald Glover was excellent, but not good enough to save the movie for me. He also didn't get enough screen time for me, and I think I would have preferred a movie called Lando that was more all about Lando. See, I like risks, i.e. The Last Jedi. But Lando is sexually attracted to droids in this movie. It doesn't bother me. It's just a thing. It's just something that, they made. The droid he loves, L3, is she's an equal rights activist, this droid, because it turns out the droids are slaves. They're, if it wasn't for their constraint bolts, their restriction bolts, they would just be chilling and living life. But it turns out they're all slaves, which is a thing in itself. But she saves the droids. She's pretty funny. I didn't like her more than K2SO, though. If you're wondering why I'm making that comparison, it's because a lot of news outlets were like, this droid's better than K2SO. And I'm like, yo, K2SO was hype. Don't get me wrong, but I guess a lot of you never really took HK-47 in your party with you on KOTOR, because that is the superior droid of all time.
Once upon a time, organic meat bags bred out of control and filled the galaxy. There are different meat bags across different planets, all bumping into each other.
The movie wasn't bad. It was just my least favorite Star Wars movie, and I'm going to list the things that really bothered me, and I'm going to do it in a angry Star Wars fan that hates The Last Jedi type format, where I just list shit and say it's not what I wanted. Han Solo gets his name because he's literally solo. He's alone. So it's basically that scene from Batman when Robin gets his name, literally.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin.
Kessel Run is pretty cool, but the coolest part is shown in the trailer. Emilia Clarke is much better when she has dragons. I didn't care too much for her in this movie, especially since they build her up as if she'll be around a whole bunch. Yeah, they kind of set up a sequel in a very forced way. Forced. And I'll get back to that in a second. The bad guy is a scar-faced random with strong vibes of King Koopa from the Mario movie. He wasn't portrayed poorly by Paul Bettany. He just wasn't Star Warsy. He didn't feel Star Wars. I mean, you could have had a hut there, but instead they did this. The silliest part of the movie for me was Emilia Clarke kills her mob boss King Koopa and then reports to her real boss, who is none other than Darth Maul. Yes, she has a holo call with Darth Maul, and that sounds like a rap. A holo call with Darth Maul. Who then turns on his double-bladed lightsaber so you can confirm, yes, it is truly him. kind of like pulls out his lightsaber in this hollow call, and he's like, "Yes, bzz, bzz. I have a double-bladed lightsaber. Okay, speak to you later. Bye," and hangs up. It's really weird. It's really, yeah, I don't know. It was just so. It felt really. I don't know. I didn't like that moment. It made me cringe. A Solo movie. I didn't really want this one. I wanted other things, but I already sound like a Star Wars fan. It's not what I wanted. But now there's going to be another Solo movie, or even worse, they're going to have a setup for a sequel that will never be answered within the movie, and that also bothers me. They dropped the ball with Han and Chewie. I think Han and Chewie do not have a great dynamic as much as, I mean, I was always like, why does Chewie hang out with this loser all the time, you know? I thought I would get that. We don't really get that. They're just like, hey, they're buddies. And another thing just like that, where they're just like, hey, they're buddies, believe it, is Han is like, I'm going to be the best pilot ever. And then he's the best pilot. He just is. Like, at one point, he's like, I got kicked out of flight school for having a mind of my own. They don't show that. It would have been interesting because we would have seen him flying a TIE fighter and seeing how he becomes the best pilot ever. Instead, he's just like, I'm the best pilot. And he is. And they never really, it's just so casual. He flies for about 6% of the movie when he should have flown for about 60% of the movie. By the time he gets in the Millennium Falcon, you're like, what took so long to get here? Why did this take so long? And then it's short. It's all short once he's flying, and that's like his thing, you know? There's a cool character in the movie, and she's a badass, and she's, you know, very cool. You've seen her in the trailer. And then at one point, she takes her helmet off, and oh, psych, it's a beautiful girl. Idiot. Bet you didn't think a beautiful girl can kick ass. And I'm kind of like, no, I knew that they could. I mean, you know, Phasma, Rey, Leia. I know women kick ass in the Star Wars universe. And this kind of got like, you know, was like, oh, what? Psych, it's a beautiful girl. And I'm kind of like, it's cool if she's a girl, but I wish she kept her helmet on. I mean, this is the Star Wars universe. Newsflash. We like when people keep their helmets on, and we like when they have, like, you know, raspy voices. You don't need to show me everyone under a helmet, you know? Some of the coolest people in Star Wars never took their helmet off to begin with. Clint Howard has a cameo. It's funny. But when Clint Howard is, you know, a high point in a Star Wars movie, it could be a problem. The best part of the movie was at the end. Han shot first. And it's cool and it's subtle. And I wish they hammered that throughout the entire movie. He literally should have shot first the whole time. Would have been cool if Lando was the bad guy. And, you know, it should have started with Han in a TIE fighter in the Imperial Air Force, you know, having a mind of his own. And it shouldn't have set up a sequel. I don't know why it set up a sequel. And if they were going to set up a sequel, having Darth Maul literally waving his lightsaber around to show us that he's Darth Maul is weird in itself, and it kind of bothered me. And listen, these movies are for a new generation anyways, and we should accept that, you know, when you go into them, they're for a new generation, and, you know, not be stubborn for what it should be or what you wanted it to be. And, you know, when I first saw The Last Jedi, you know, it was a kind of hard for me to swallow. But when I went back and saw The Last Jedi with an open mind, I loved it. And I think you should see these movies with an open mind. And, you know, maybe I'll go see Solo again with more of an open mind. But the problem for me is I was just never particularly that interested in this to begin with. And the things that were important to me that they nailed, they kind of dropped the ball on. I will say Solo is my least favorite Star Wars movie, and that's how I will rank it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a comment. You know, I love discussing with you guys in the comment section. So let's get a little discussion going. All right, guys, take care.